Midtown's Go Team meeting where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in discussion. Any member of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Midtown's Go Team at 4:03 p.m. Our first order of business to call roll. Ms. Boyd, can you take roll for us?
Miss Boyd, you might be on mute.
Yes, sorry. Dr. Bachman is present. Ms. Boyd is present. Dr. Bryant is present. I can't tell. Is Dr. Doss?
She's absent today.
She's absent. Okay. Mr. Goldberg is here. And Nora is here. Ms. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Pastorf. Ms. Keenan is here. Ms. Christian is here. And Mrs. Oko's here.
And
All
Dr.
right.
Doss is here as well.
Oh, she is. Okay. Perfect. Then we have everyone present.
Okay. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Boyd, is there a quorum present?
There is a quorum.
So our first action, well, before, are there any public comments? No public comments?
I don't think anyone else is in right now, and it is an open link.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So no, not at this time.
So our next, our action items, the first one is to approve the agenda. Our first order is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Aye.
say nay. Any abstentions? All right, so the next is to approve the approval of the previous minutes. Ms. Boyd sent those out from our last minutes. So are there any corrections to those minutes that she sent out? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed
Aye.
say nay.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, so were there any recommendations to fill the open community seat? We still have that we have to fill, and we have not done that yet.
I'd like to bring forth someone, her name is Brooke Bowen.
Okay,
She is a parent in the Midtown cluster, has two children. One's in second grade, Virginia Highlands Elementary. The other is a rising kindergartner. She is the PTO president right now at Virginia Highlands Elementary School. She has a really strong background. She's an attorney, but she has lots of volunteer work for Virginia Highlands area, fundraising, served on the board of Skyline Trail, which is a mental health treatment facility. She has worked on the Georgia, been legal counsel for the Board of Regents, and has worked with the Georgia General Assembly on education issues. I think she'd be a really great person to bring on to be part of our board as a community member.
Does anyone have any other suggestions or people? Do we want to vote now or for the community member seat? I guess possibly,
Yeah, I think we should have a vote now and then she can vote on the other action items.
okay. So, can I have a motion to approve the community seat, member that Dr. Bachman suggested?
I motion.
And again, her name is Brooke Bowen.
Brooke Bowen.
Mhm.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Keenan, second.
Any, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, so we have approved say it again, Jennifer. No, I'm looking at Jennifer's name. It started with a B.
Oh, Brooke Bowen.
Brooke Bowen. Brooke Bowen. Okay. Our next item is the 2025-2023 strategic plan. So she's going through, this is our plan. These were the items that we came up with, the objectives for our strategic plan for the year 25 through 30. And then I did send out a survey for everyone to vote. I think I had everyone to vote on those. So were there any changes or any recommendations are we okay with those that we chose before we look at the results from the ranking?
Are we going to revise we brought in two from our those first two, we had never, the one for we are strengthening our instructional core. Those were ones that we brought through from the last strategic plan. I thought in the minutes we had that we were going to revise and maybe kind of make this into one. I only have one instead of two.
Okay. Any suggestions? Because my opinion, I kind of feel like the first one kind of includes the second one.
I also think that first one, the offer a rigorous and culturally sustainable curriculum, is very similar to the one we have for providing a robust and engaging offering of courses. They seem really similar. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well.
So do we just want to take those two and then just use the provide a robust and engaging offering of courses? Because I think 2 is still saying the same thing of using existing and appropriate tools to measure, analyze, and communicate progress, student progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that second bullet point is something separate. Yeah.
You think it's separate, Dr. Doss?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be our one for we are strengthening our instructional core. That could be our statement under that category. Okay.
Are we in agreement with getting rid of the first one under we are strengthening our core? And then just using that second one, using existing and appropriate tools to represent that objective, and then leaving the provide a robust under we are sparking student curiosity?
We talked a lot about the pieces of, college, career, and civic engagement. We really spent some time coming up with that wording. And, I'm okay if we want to get rid of or collapse the two, but, college, career, and civic engagement is kind of what we're trying to get at there.
Do you think we could put that with the other statement, provide a robust and engaging offering of courses that appeal to student interest while emphasizing learning integrity and mastery, as well as
prepares students for college, career, civic, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
engagement? Okay.
Yes, that's good.
It's easy to move that wording around to kind of give a comprehensive approach.
So just combine those two.
What if you combine the first two? Use existing and appropriate tools to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress regarding college, career, and civic engagement.
I'd prefer.
I don't know that we have
first in the fourth one.
I do too, because I don't know that you have a tool to measure civic engagement, but
I don't. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
True.
Okay. So just try to word those two together. Let me see.
I mean, we could say community service hours are a way to some civic engagement. If you wanted to formalize that,
Yeah, we have a lot of data there.
So I think what we're trying to get at here, if we just back up to what we were trying to accomplish, we want the rigorous and culturally sustainable curriculum, a robust offering of classes. So not just as an end to itself, but in order to prepare the kids for life, college, career, and civic engagement. So I think somehow managing to, get that across, and the measuring here, the tools to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress. You could say student progress and outcomes, because that could measure those other things. I'm okay with whatever people want to do. I just want us to capture the purpose of the robust offerings.
Should we say for the purpose of, and then maybe that would be a great way to do that.
Sure.
Or is there a reason to change how it's currently written if they're getting at different points?
Well, I mean, isn't the goal of sparking student curiosity to prepare kids for their future endeavors? So couldn't you I feel like just combining the two would be pretty easy and still get like the main point across of both even.
I was looking at that one, and I like what Nora said. I think we can do like provide a robust and engaging offering for courses that appeal to student interests while emphasizing learning integrity and mastery for the purpose of providing a culturally sustainable curriculum that prepares students for college, career, and civic engagement. I think that would be a nice blending.
I like that. I swear we talked at one point about, cultivating lifelong learners, but I don't see that in any of these statements.
I know. I was thinking that too.
I'm trying to, let me see.
Do we want to check?
Here,
Well,
I can
Can we
go
change
smaller.
emphasizing to emphasizing lifelong learning?
Right here.
I'm popping
Yeah.
something in the chat. Look at this. Okay,
Yeah.
I put a revision in the chat. What do we think about that?
Yeah, I like that.
Are we ready to put that in here?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great.
I can fix the.
Oh.
I like it. I like it. That's good.
Anything else changing?
I don't think so. Are we gonna leave that second one then? Is that gonna be our?
Yeah, I think the second one stays because we combined the first one and the one at the bottom to provide.
Okay.
So is this one coming out?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, the top one with the first one would come out.
So is this ready?
Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, they kind of speak to the same thing because really, when you're talking about using the data to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress, it's not just progress, it's just making sure that the kids are developing mastery. And that's down there in that other one. But so that's, I guess it's fine. As long as we don't take our eye off of it.
Okay. Is everybody else good? Okay. Now we can look at the ranking. So I guess the ranking is going to be a little different, but I think we can kind of maneuver through those two. Especially because we put those two together. So depending on where they fall, I think that was 1 and 4, possibly.
Yes, and those were actually the two I've already tabulated. Those were the two that had the highest first and second rankings.
So then that will probably make that one 1.
That would definitely make that one 1.
Yeah.
Because it was the offer a rigorous and culturally sustainable curriculum had 4 first places and 2 second places and 1 third place. And then the robust and engaging offerings had 3 first places, 1 second place, and 2 third places. So it was high. It was those were the highest 2 total for
The ranking.
for the rankings.
And can someone share a visualization of that tabulation?
That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to
it's
do.
the-
We're gonna get. You have to vote officially on the plan first before we can
Oh.
rank the priorities. So
Got it.
Oh,
once we vote, I'll move on and show everybody the pieces of the puzzle.
So do we have to do our hands up or something for voting? Or do we motion?
Motion.
Motion. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. May I have a motion to approve the strategic plan?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, so that is our 2025 and 2023 strategic plan. Good job, guys. Congratulations. All the hard work.
Yes.
Now we can look at the ranking. So I know Ms. Capelli did it, tried to compile it. I think she had to fix some things because we had some last minute votes come in.
Yes. So I'm actually going to stop sharing and then just reshare directly to the survey because one more person voted after I fixed it. So we'll just go straight. So the ones that are in the presentation that I shared are only 10 votes and there are now 11 in there. So let me just share the direct one.
And thank you, Tamara, for the suggestion for making this move a little faster.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
that
welcome. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I saw the Howard Go team do it, and I thought it was brilliant. It was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So can everyone see my screen? And is it big
Yes.
enough? Okay.
Yes.
So given that this first one has been deleted, use existing and appropriate tools to measure. Sorry. Analyze and communicate student progress had, let's see, blue would be the highest priority. So we're looking for blue.
Oh.
Let's see. So I think there's a three-way tie between these last three. Nope, that's actually 6.
Yeah, we're looking for a dark blue.
Dark blue. Yep. All right. So 27.
Yeah, the ones that we just combined are clearly the top choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this one, it looks like, I don't know what my computer is doing. All right. That one right there. I think because I have it blown up and it doesn't like that. Okay, so provide a robust and engaging offering of courses that appeal to student interests while emphasizing learning integrity and mastery has the highest percentage of the team voting that that's the number one priority. I'm going to start writing.
Okay. So that's the, and then number 2.
Okay. Number 2, I believe, is this
Ensure
one.
Safe
here.
and inclusive, effective learning environment.
Yes. That's the next highest
Mhm.
with 36% more voting it as number 2. Okay.
And then create a collaborative school culture. That would be the highest for 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a tie. So the second one, using existing and appropriate tools for 4. And then, okay, provide is taken out, create is taken out. And then the last one, use systems, structures, and effective allocation of resources to create a safe and effective learning environment. So out of those 2, which one would we suggest for a 4?
Which 2?
The second one, using existing and appropriate tools to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress.
I don't see that as getting red in here. It's got the
Yeah,
the
that's
dark
actually
pink.
has the highest percentage of the lowest priority.
Yeah,
No, we were
7.
looking at 4. I'm looking at 4, and those are the ones with 18.2%. That one and the last one.
Oh, this one right here?
What?
That's
Oh, because the ones with the highest for number 4 are the last one using systems and structure, and then the second one, or maybe I'm looking at it differently.
Yeah, I think we
What
need to go
one?
backwards. So I think the next one would be for sure, would be use system structures and effective allocation of resources. That looks like, because that has two number 2 votes and 2 number 4 votes and 2 number 5 votes. So that's,
Yeah, I think that one is the next highest.
Which one used the,
Use this one right
there's,
here.
yeah, but there's not even any yellow in that. 3 or, I mean, it's got some 2 and 4.
So if we're looking at what's
Go back
left,
up.
though,
Go back
yeah,
up.
hang on.
All right.
All right.
So what's our
So
first
this one
one?
is
Our
out.
first one
because
is
you- right.
our first one is the 2 that we combined. The second one is the safe and inclusive. Okay, and then we're trying to get to what's the third? I mean,
we've already done
We have
third.
the third is create a
Third is create
collaborative school culture.
collaborative culture, yes, and then the fourth.
So we've already included this one. We've already included this one. We've already included this
That
one.
one.
Okay, so now this one has a pretty high
Welcome.
percentage of low priority. This, and then this one would be net. There's only 6 total.
Right, there's only 6.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's
Oh yeah, because we
out of,
dropped down to 7. Yeah.
All right, so which one are we down to then? So we're down to systems,
one right here.
structures, and then
This one
ensure
right here.
parents feeling welcome,
yeah. And then
and then what?
the use
The
existing
tools.
and appropriate tools. But I think this one is pretty, like, this is the lowest priority.
Yes,
The highest
that's the lowest.
percentage of the lowest priority.
Yeah.
So what we're debating here is, are we, which do we think is more important, using the systems to communicate student progress or the parents feeling welcome?
Right. But this one has about 36% as the lowest priority. This one has about 18%, but then you can kind of go up the scale.
I like parents feeling welcome as a higher priority.
So that would be 4.
Yes. I mean, that's where I had it. But that's just me.
Okay.
And then I had the tools after tools at the
Tools is
tools at the
5.
bottom, and then systems.
The systems would be 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What do we think? Christian and Nora, do you want to weigh in on that ranking?
Yeah, so if I'm getting this correct, is there any way you could, like, I know you guys are talking about it, but is there any way, like, the rankings in order could be sent in the chat possibly, just to
I'll
get
do that right now.
visual? Okay, that would be
Yeah, that
perfect.
would make it
Thank
so
you.
much easier.
And I was going to put the numbers on the, hang on one second. I'm putting the numbers on slide 10. So you can kind of see. Ensure safe. And then I'll reshare that. In a collaborative.
I mean, the systems one actually sounds like a definition of the job of the Go team.
I mean, I think for number 3, students have a meaningful voice. I mean, that's one of the things I was emphasizing in our last meeting. So I'm encouraging that being higher up on the list, because I think it's very important to, I mean, the school is for the students after all. So the goal should be to promote engagement and inclusion. So I also think, like, offering courses is also huge, obviously, as well, because there's no point if nobody actually wants to participate in what's going on at school.
Can everyone see the strategic plan?
Yes.
So the numbers right in front are how they're ordered right now.
Okay.
So Nora, which one are you saying should be higher?
The student voice is number 3 on this list, so that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
high
what I
up.
was saying. That I like the student voice being that high for number 3. I think that's as high as it needs to be. I mean, I would like it to be even higher, but I think overall, looking at all the other goals, that's a proper fit.
Wait, don't we have?
Hang on 1
I
second.
think
This is
2
opposite.
and I
Yeah,
think
1
2 and
second.
4
2
are
and 4
backwards.
are mixed. Yes,
Okay.
they are.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think 2, what we have right now, 2 is at least what I'm showing. The parents, ensuring parents feel welcome. I think that should bump back a little to maybe like 4 or something.
No, that's number 4. I mixed them up.
Okay.
My fault. Okay. There we go. So are you saying you want to switch 2 and 3?
Me looking at it right now, I really like how it's set up.
I mean, I would maybe even switch 4 and 5 and move like using system structures and effective allocation of resources. I would switch that with ensuring that parents and guardians feel welcome, just because I do think that it should be even more student centered.
I mean, 5 doesn't say anything about students, but they said it's a learning environment. I mean, I've had a problem with 5 just in general because it really doesn't say much. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing, go to. But I do know, from talking to parents that parents would want to see the parents feeling welcome higher.
Yeah, I really like 4 where it is because like we want students to be engaged in and outside of school, just taking like not prioritizing where the parents should be when they're like a very important role to a child's education. I think it's fine at 4. I don't think we need to bump it down.
Should I motion to vote or we're still debating?
I mean,
I will say for the students, so if you look up at the mission and vision, a lot of that is about, student voice and, the connection and stuff like that, student support. And so if you look over the vision, the very last words are student voice. So
I mean, I'm okay with everything as it is right now.
I mean, because in my thinking, ensuring that they do have a safe that will lead to the student voice and them being comfortable with the decisions and wanting to be more involved in the school. So I think it's good because it flows better. So, can I have a motion to vote on the rankings?
move that we approve this order as it's written. But I think Christian beat me to it. So I'll let you consider mine a second.
Okay, a second. So all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, so we have done the ranking for our strategic plan. So the next part of our agenda is the discussion items, basically just reviewing our strategic plan and reviewing our ranking.
No, they were just out of order. The action items are listed first. So you
Okay.
kind of have to go back and forth.
Yeah. So we basically did the discussion part, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was assuming. Because when I looked at it, I was like, okay.
I have already added minutes for the discussion section for both. So.
Okay.
Yep.
We don't have any information items.
No.
Do we have any public comments?
Are we going to cover anything what we learned from the budget meeting that we all went to? Because we're going to be tackling that in our next meeting.
I know in this meeting we were just supposed to actually, and from them, they sent us from the Go team. They just sent us to talk about the strategic plan and vote on it, as well as the objectives. They didn't include a discussion about the meeting, and no one else brought it up via email about discussing or talking or what we need to debrief on.
Well, I'll provide some information items. Did everybody go to one of these sessions? Hopefully,
Yes,
yes.
I was there.
Okay.
Yes.
So a couple of the highlights for this, they are doing some things differently. The things that really impact Midtown, from what I can see, is that's driving our lower per pupil number. One of the big ones is they're bringing athletic stipends in-house into downtown. We still don't know exactly how that's going to work, but we're ostensibly going to, request a stipend when we have a need for one. Hopefully Dr. Bachman will get more input in here soon and can provide some information on that. I don't think we ever had leftover athletic stipends from years past, but I know that has happened at other schools. And then the other one is no field trip money is being pushed to the schools, and we still don't know exactly how that's going to impact all of our budgets, going forward. And then the other big item, that I saw in there was the next year's projection number is 1785, which I will say is something that the facilities master plan didn't contemplate us getting into until about 2029 or 2030.
Yeah.
The only other thing, and I wanted to ask a little bit for more information about, is we don't get the security grant anymore. The district is holding on to that. I know we've used it in the past, according to Dr. Bachman, to pay for some of our SROs. And as of last year, maybe the year before, Dr. Bachman can tell us more, but they're charging us for using our school, for these family engagement events, things like curriculum night and all the things that we're being tasked with, family engagement from the perspective of the Go team. But it's going to cost us money to pay for SROs and custodians. And I have run that up the flagpole because I think those two things are in conflict. You can't really expect us to try to promote, family engagement and then turn around and charge us for it and don't give us any money. So I still have a big problem with that. Does anybody have any other insights on that budget proposal that they could share and how it might impact us? Because there's some unknown things in here. Or anybody wanted to comment on any of the things?
I do know, I did see in the chat that Dr. Bachman did ask them for more clarification on what you spoke about with the SROs and the hourly. So did they get back to you on that?
So what we got was not enough detail, because I asked for what does it cost to have a SRO per hour and what triggers the need for an SRO or the need for more SROs, or 3 to 4, that kind of thing. I did not get clarity on that. What we did get was how the rate comes, that they look at the person's individual hourly rate, and that's what we're charged. I think it needs to be a flat fee, because if we get an SRO that's been around 2 years versus an SRO that's been around 20, that's going to be a big difference. Yeah. It's really hard to budget when you don't know the cost. It feels, it's still vague and evasive. That's, we just can't nail that down,
Yeah. When did they start doing this?
Budget, you know, I mean, do we budget 10,000? Do we budget 20,000? You know, how many do we need for theater production? You know, and should we charge more money for tickets to pay for that? Yeah, I mean,
I think they said it was starting this year, Tamara. I think that's what they said. They were starting it this year.
So, I mean, again, I think that their priorities, I mean, the KPI of this family engagement is one of their key KPIs. And I don't know how they could turn around and nickel and dime us for it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
and we have, Mrs. Oak, we have been billed, they started billing us
This year.
Oh,
We
Yeah.
get a bill of 400 to 800. Just
Did they charge us last year for custodians and SROs?
custodians, and it was pretty random for SROs, honestly. We were not charged for custodians.
We
So
were
we
not.
can put overtime pay. I can put overtime pay for custodians in. That's easier to budget for
mhm.
because I know basically what that is. But the SRO is really a mystery.
Do we know how, because this is potentially, we don't have extra money lying around. And so when we get to approving our budget next month or in a couple weeks, or talking about it, I mean, this could be a big line item for us.
Mhm.
And do we know when some of this might be resolved? Because I watched the budget commission meeting and they were basically doubling down on charging us for this stuff. I mean, I suppose that other schools that are Title I have Title I engagement funds that they're using to pay for family engagement. So they're using family engagement money to pay for SROs and custodians. That I have a problem with. If that's what they're doing, if they're asking the Title I schools to use their family engagement money to pay for SROs and custodians as opposed to the event that they're trying to do, I just think this is misguided. And I'm almost done with my tenure, so I can say what I want. You know, I think this is one where, I mean, are other schools pushing back on this?
Yes, they don't like definitely because they do so many activities.
Yeah.
It was definitely highly talked about at the meeting.
Right. Because especially some of our smaller schools, that's, you know, their budget's pretty small. So. I mean, I would certainly appreciate any questions that could be asked
Yeah.
that really nail down an hourly rate or it really is, how many SROs do you need for an event? Is it 1 to 200? Is it, you know, and
Yeah.
I can't get.
It's not clear when we can use
But
an SRO versus when we can use a security monitor, because those
Yeah.
have different rates.
But again, I think, you know, these are normal things of doing business for a school. And those are things I think the district should come up with. You know, what's a reasonable amount of, you know, engagement opportunities to be held at the school to achieve their KPI goals, and then fund that so that you can, you know, because this is completely backwards. It's a disincentive for us to host events.
Yes. Yes.
So when you say ask for information on nailing down the rate, that's so that we can do our budget? Like, so Go Team members ask this of the district?
Yes. So it's what they're going to tell you is it depends on the hourly rate of the person. I think it just needs to be like they adjusted this year. You know, it used to be Title I schools paid less for a teacher, if you remember that. And we paid more. Well, now this year it's a teacher costs the same across the board in the budget. Not sure why that same thing, just can't say it's 75 an hour for an SRO. It shouldn't be dependent on the hourly rate. You know, So, but then it really is, there needs to be a document that says 200 people, one SRO for the duration of the event, or something like that. That does not exist, or I cannot get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So going out on a limb here, last year, the CAT chair and, some people from the Midtown Go team met with the CFO. Is that something that we could do again, like to voice concerns? Because again, the Go teams don't really have a good back and forth protocol set out by the district for how we communicate. I prefer meetings because it's much less confrontational when you see people face to face. So I don't know if our chair here and the vice chair, might have some inclination to meet with. I mean, that's the CFO. I guess it's an issue that Ms. Uzoka is an employee, but she has a formal role here. I mean, these are not insignificant dollar figures for us.
No, it's not. It could, yeah.
I think it would be a good idea.
As you brought up the field trip. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from, I guess 3 weeks away from, really 2 with the holiday, the next Go team meeting, the field trip.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
Yeah,
But I will say,
very big ticket items.
yeah, Tamara, though, with the stipends, it doesn't seem like those are being taken. They're just being distributed in a different.
Yeah. That's
That's not money that's coming away from us. It's just being distributed without having to invoice and go back and forth. So,
I understood that part, and that could be a good thing. I mean, that I'm not having an issue with that as much as some of these other things. The field trips and the charges for the SROs and the custodians. But also the projections. It would be really nice to get a history of both projections and actuals. And Dr. Bachman, you have the actuals from year over year, like what our actual enrollment was, versus what they predicted. Because that was pretty startling, to see that, we're plowing ahead, 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, that's Jennifer. Did you have a meeting with Dr. Bracken last year about Midtown stuff? I thought you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do that again?
I mean, we can request it. It's a pretty short turnaround, but yeah, we can certainly request it. I think it would be helpful, for people. Well, I think last year it was the chair and the vice chair. They had a limited attendance. But we would I think it would be helpful to have Go team members submit their questions so that we have, a clear list of the information that people want and information people need. I mean, my biggest takeaway from the budget that was sent to us, just the bottom line number, we have, whatever it is, 90 or 80, 86 more pupils, and FTE went down. Like just the bottom line, that was really mind-boggling to me, that we could have that many more students, but our FTE allocation decreased.
Do you mean the 86 more from what was projected, like
exactly? Yeah. So
1699, I think, was our for this year. 1699, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's only like 30 more kids than who we actually have in our building. Like we have 1,750 kids sitting in our building.
Well, and that's so the FTE was 1699. So yeah, there's 2 issues. It's what Tamara mentioned, that projections versus actual. But the FTE was based on projection, and here they're projecting 86 more than last year's projection, but the FTE has gone down. So, so it's two issues. The projection is way off. But even though the projection is more, the FTE is still less. So yeah, if the projection was 1699 and you're at 1750 right now, then, you know, if you just whatever use the same percentages, the projection for next year is 1785, but it's probably going to be 1820, 1830 at least.
And we didn't get money. Okay, so we might have gotten some money for some of the overage of students versus what they projected last year, like on leveling day. But anything that came after that, we didn't get any more money for the kids that are in our building. So the lurching of some of this budget process is really causing a strain. And I you know, God bless you guys for trying to manage it. I mean, you're doing the lion's work here, but you know, some of it's just not adding up, and we've got to find a way to make sure the teachers and the kids have what they need next year. And I'm afraid that it's going the opposite way.
Yep.
Do we need to vote to ask the chair and vice chair to ask for a meeting, or can you just do that?
I don't think so, because it wasn't, the meeting was hard to get, but in the end it was an informal meeting because it wasn't subject to open records. So it would seem strange to vote on an informal meeting.
Yeah.
So I don't, if you vote on it, then it's a formal go team action.
Right.
And
we
then
don't,
it would be subject to open records and an open meeting. So I guess it's not a meeting, it's a information session for the,
which is fine.
Chair and
Yeah.
vice chair.
I mean, whatever it takes to have that information session, you know, because again, I think when you have it face to face, you know, even if it's on Zoom, you know, it's much better than writing an email or, you know, but we still, yeah.
So what I can do is I'll create like a Google Doc or something and send it out so you all can put your questions in and just request the meeting and just see what happens. And just, you know, answer the questions of our concerns, and more than likely they're probably concerns of other schools as well. So I don't think we'll be the first to ask.
Do we have a CAT meeting soon?
Our CAT meeting was postponed, and they said they would let us know when it's going to get rescheduled.
Okay.
Do you have a feeling of whether it's going to be after the budget process or before?
Probably after.
Travis. I'm going to ask Travis.
So, and if I missed this and we're regurgitating, let me know, because my volume went off for a little. I have a concern about the money being taken out of the budget for field trips. Dr. Bachman, how big of a concern is that for you? I mean, is that the way I see it is that the kids who come from families that have low resources are going to be disproportionately impacted by that. And that'd be a shame if they didn't get to experience field trips and that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they shared that it's not being removed, it's being given in a different way, but they haven't shared what that way is yet. But they did make it clear that we will have money for field trips. We just don't know how much or how.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
But it's not being removed altogether. It's just being distributed in a different way.
I see.
So it just feels like that it's a lot of conversations about things, but things have not been ironed out and really written out to just allocate and send to schools to let them know, okay, this is what's going to be done. And I think those are the questions that, because everything is so vague, you know, field trips, we don't know, SROs and custodians, we don't know. So it's just really getting concrete answers to those questions. And I think by you all putting those or us getting those questions, hopefully we can get a concrete, like I said, I know Dr. Bachman asked in the meeting to get that list of the hourly pay and all of that for the SROs, but question still hasn't been answered yet.
Well, and I'm gonna also, and I'll put it in writing too, but if they're going to charge us for these things, for the SROs and the custodians, for these events, they need to provide a reasonable budget for the school to pay for them out of, because otherwise we're gonna take it out of some teacher's salary, right? So they need to know that. That's what we're down to.
Yes, so
Is it one of the issues that the APS wants to charge the school for like open school night and curriculum night, that sort of thing, events that take place after school hours?
yeah, that's what we were talking about of how, what does that look like? If it's individual hourly rate, what is that rate? How many SROs we need per child, or, you know, so those would be the questions. So I will send out a Google Doc that you all can add those type of questions, and hopefully we can get those answered before our February 23rd meeting, before the budget, or, you know, even like last year, they had to hold some stuff for us. So if that's even something that might have to happen, then we can look at that as well.
Well, I will say, you know, I'm trying to request those meetings with the CFO. I mean, it takes a little bit. So if you had a minute right after this meeting, I mean, to go ahead and send that email, to try to get on her calendar.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
No problem.
Does it make sense to work with Dr. Bachman about formulating some questions around enrollment? Like if enrollment reaches this level, what does that mean for planning? How can you help us from a budget standpoint?
Well, if we have more over enrollment after leveling, then we get the reserves back. There's no more money. And Jennifer, I don't know if you, Capella, if you want to speak about the reserves and.
Yeah, I can talk definitely about the reserves. So, you know, in our budget, they have a reserves line item. And so that's held back for now. But if we hit our projections, we get that money. But then if we have more students than projected, there's like a baseline. We don't get the additional, but we do get a baseline per additional student. And then also this year, we do have likely some money from our current budget right now that they are allowing us to reallocate to reserves for next year. So we're trying to be strategic in what's left so that we can actually up those reserves and just allow for a little bit more of a cushion in that space for next year as well.
Yeah.
But also, if the kids come in after, like at the end of the first semester or in November or something, we don't get anything.
No, we don't.
Not even the baseline.
Right.
I guess it's not a budgetary question. Maybe it's more of a planning question. Like if we're over enrolled or enrollment hits a certain level, how does that impact class offerings? Meaning, does that mean we only offer one, less math class or Spanish classes?
Yeah, we have to plan for that now. It's really hard to hire staff once the school year has started. And so, we try to make those decisions and projections and things like that now which is why, when like Dr. Bachman sent out that email earlier today about course offerings, we have to know and have a stopping point so that we can plan for what that looks like next year, because that's how we hire teachers.
Where it really hits is like students that come after the first day. That's where the limit is. Like maybe we don't have room. We don't have any seats in Spanish 1. We don't have any seats in a calculus class. We can take care of the kids we have now, but it's really hard to predict who's coming, what they're going to need. So, you can't really hold out. You can't hold out seats. I can't hold out like 20 Spanish 1 seats. It just,
They get less choice in what their schedule looks like if they're enrolling after now.
Okay, well, I will. Go ahead.
Well, quick question just for as we get closer to next year and the scheduling, building up, if we can, have kind of a look at, what we had this year and then what we're going to have next year, based on, just the different course offerings, the sections and, what the class sizes are and things like that, just so that we can kind of keep track of how things are going in the school as we deal with our enrollment.
Sure. Yes, and we're working on that. We have some preliminary numbers, which is, we have a couple of people retiring, teachers, so we'll replace them. We'll probably add a couple of teaching positions, maybe one or two. But yes, we can have some numbers and courses and things like that, so that you can understand how we make the budget, how we're looking at the budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Are there any public comments? No public comments. Okay, so we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Any abstentions? And the meeting is now adjourned.
Thank
You all have a wonderful evening. Stay